Hello and welcome to Sectors Up Close. I'm David Pollard. Today we're talking Bitcoin and other crypto assets and whether they could, to borrow Donald Trump's words, go to the moon. Our guest is Shana, CEO of Banrion Capital Management. Bitcoin hit a 6-week high close to $70,000 and shares of crypto exchange Coinbase Global jumped by around 5% after these words on Saturday from Donald Trump.
If crypto is going to define the future, I want to be mined, minted, and made in the USA. It's going to be. It's not going to be made anywhere else. And if Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon, I want America to be the nation that leads the way. And that's what's going to happen. No, you're going to be very happy with me.
Well, with those words came pledges for a new Bitcoin strategic national reserve and for a reversal of what he called the anti-crypto crusade by the Democrat Party. He would endorse crypto, he said, and before China. Well, to discuss the outlook for crypto assets in the wake of that speech, I'm joined by Shana, Sissel of Banrion Capital Management. Many thanks for joining us. Trump says he's going to make us happy. But Jefferies, in a report today, was warning that the future of Bitcoin and other crypto is now inexorably tied to the outcome of the US election. Is that a happy thought?
I think crypto is now become far more mainstream, and that regardless of who wins the election, they will have to kind of come on board and figure out how to continue to make progress as it pertains to crypto, because there's no going back at this point.
Now, the other game changer this year has been the launch of crypto ETFs, Bitcoin at the start of the year. And last week, we had some Ether ETFs starting to trade. What's the different investment case for Ether ETFs as opposed to Bitcoin?
Ethereum as a crypto asset is different than Bitcoin. Its investment case is different. With Bitcoin, it's about security and the currency aspect of it. With Ethereum, it's more the use case, the different things that can be built on top of the Ethereum blockchain. You know, Ethereum is the main blockchain used for things like NFTs, for things like trust documents and that are related to housing markets here in the U.S. and other places. It's a secure place that you can transfer valuable physical assets and valuable ownership of those physical assets, which is different than the use case for Bitcoin. So they're actually quite complementary. And Ethereum, you could actually argue, has more potential use cases and more ways in which it can add value and gain value for investors.
Now, we're talking about a Donald Trump administration, of course, but what would a Kamala Harris administration mean for the industry? She's
likely to have a more friendly view towards crypto than the Biden administration. I think that that's obviously a positive thing. You want to make sure that you're keeping up with where the market is going, and this is clearly the direction the market is going. And she would be foolish to take it steps backwards and be less friendly.
Let's move on to how investors might move into this space. Should they look at crypto assets directly, or should they look at ETFs or crypto-related stocks? What's the best approach, do you think?
These are pretty complex instruments, and there's thousands of them. Not all of them are good. So I personally think the easiest and best way to get exposure to it is through the ETFs. It's also, as I noted, are a lot cheaper. If you try to trade individual cryptos on the crypto exchanges, it's actually quite expensive. And then, if you really want to get sophisticated and have your own cold storage wallet, then you add all kinds of levels of complexity to it. So I think for the average person, the best and easiest way is absolutely through the ETFs.
And in terms of price action, there are a whole set of factors at play. We've spoken about Trump, but there was also a Bitcoin halving in April. There's a more benign inflation and interest rates outlook, possibly. How is that all going to fold into the mix for the price of Bitcoin and other crypto assets?
Well, I think those are somewhat of a tailwind, but I think the big tailwind is the ETFs. And the reason I say that is because prior to the ETFs coming to market, most people, the average person, was not investing or even considering investing in crypto. The potential for assets to flow into these products is substantial. The initial pop of inflows into these products, and these were the most successful ETFs ever launched, billions of dollars coming in weeks, not months, really propped up the price of the Bitcoin. And that was just a small sliver of where the opportunity lies, as major wealth management firms need to approve the use of these ETFs for their advisors and their clients. So the ability for people at Morgan Stanley or at UBS or pick your major wealth management firm, they weren't able to allocate to these products. That is changing as these approvals start to happen, and sometimes that can take upwards of a year. We're now at the very beginning of that as it pertains to Ethereum. And so I think the technical tailwinds are favorable regardless of what economic and macro conditions may be.
Okay, Shana, it's been great to hear your thoughts today. Shana Sissel of Banrion Capital Management, many thanks for joining us. And that is your roundup of the crypto sector. I'm David Pollard, and this is Reuters.